I think we are a bored, listless, faithless people. And we should be striving. This is why I like Elon. He's like, we're going to go to Mars. And I'm like, that's a good thing. Because the technology that comes from space travel is massive. It's not just, so with like the original space program, the Apollo program, we developed a whole bunch of new chemicals and various products through the research and development. That's great that Elon's doing that. We need a country that is focused on achieving a great goal. Instead, it's everybody's just super bored and angry, and they're trying to find purpose where there's none.
Totally. And they're it's kind of like all the apps are just fueling that.
Yeah.
Just the narcissism is being fueled by these apps. It's just constant dopamine drip. You have no drive to go do anything. There's no pressure. There is literally no pressure. There's nothing driving you or pushing you in any direction. So like people just hang out. They just sit and don't do anything and just watch TV and just scroll their phone. It's crazy, but like that's like where the Aldous Huxley thing comes into reality. It's like people are literally just being fed their vices and just falling for it.
Sam, you've been to like 193 countries. Is it your sense that this is something that's unique to the West, or is it something that you would imagine is, or that you think is global, or what?
I mean, I haven't heard about what Tim was talking about, how there was a documentary a week later or a book a week later. So I haven't heard about anything like that.
No. Well, I mean, because it's my sense that there was a leftist push that was international. Like you see it a lot there's a lot in Europe, and now that's why you see the swing back of the pendulum.
Yes.
A lot of that is going on in Europe. I guess the German chancellor, they're beginning the process necessary to have an election next year to get rid of the German chancellor. You've got Trudeau is under fire.
Oh yeah.
The
Italian lady is pretty based, right?
She was elected. There's problems in France, so this is something that's going on, at least all over the West. Tim,
There was I did a quick Google search. Within 1 month of the disaster, there was a book for sale on Amazon, and
This is the train in Ohio.
yeah, and I think there's probably a bunch more.
A month. You'd have to do so much work to get that out.
Because I think that was like we had talked about it. Oh, here's another one. Okay, so there's two, and then it just starts giving me a bunch of Israel stuff
of course,
Sick.
the juice.
because the city was East Palestine. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, it does feel like a lot of the anger that used to exist is kind of like dissipated. People aren't just like furious about Donald Trump anymore, but like they're definitely not just not do anything. People are definitely but the thing is, a lot of people that I've seen, at least that are like apolitical people, are now that used to be apolitical before 2020 or 2016 became political, and now are like, it's boring. We've done this for like 8 years. It's not fun anymore. Like riots are like, kind of fun, but like I don't want to do that anymore. So it's like I've just been seeing a lot of people kind of just, kind of give up and want to do something new, or like the politics is getting annoying. It's frustrating for them.
it's like they were casuals. They weren't actually.
Yeah, they were casuals, definitely.
Sam, you speak a lot about uncertainty. Is there any kind of uncertainty in the future of what you see going on in America, or what can be certain?
I don't know if anything can be certain right now. I'm not exactly sure how we as a country deal with all of that at the moment, but yeah, I'm not quite sure right now.
If someone was uncertain, how would they deal with their lives?
So the main things that I talk about are 3 key things. One is to lean into gratitude and have a perspective. 2 is to control the things we can control. And the 3rd is to recognize these uncertain times as an opportunity to grow. Those are the key things that I talk about. I'm not sure if it's relevant here, but those are the main things that I talk about.
It's definitely relevant.
Yeah, I think that's kind of relevant all the time, because at least to some degree, you're a lot of like the stuff that you're talking about there is stuff that the Stoics were talking about. Like, don't worry about things you can't control. And I think if people had a little more focus on their own lives and less focus on trying to save the world, and this is something that Jordan Peterson talks about all the time when he's like doing the whole clean your room thing, like focus on the things that you can do something about.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you have small successes in your life, that will alleviate the anxiety that you're feeling that is leading you to think we've got to change the whole world. We've got to do, there's so many big things. If you're 22, 23 years old and you've done nothing in your life, it's probably not a good idea to take on global hunger. That's a big one.
Bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I mean, you've got things that are more immediate in your life that you probably need to take care of. I'm sure there's some mold somewhere under your bed or something that you might want to, and so I do think that
Dude, if Asmongold can clean his house,
that was
Yo.
huge.
I mean, he deserves kudos for that.
if
Because
he can do it, anyone can do it.
that's right. So,
Seriously.
I've seen his before photos they shared.
Yeah, it's
Holy moly.
It's crazy. It's
I
crazy.
I can't imagine how you can be that rich and have a house like that. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, that's kind of speaks to what I'm saying. Like, there's just like this blasé, like there's just this, it's ennui, like what Tim's saying. Like, there's just like nothing drives anybody. There's nothing to care about. Like you always say, like if people are comfortable, there's no revolution. No one's going to do anything about it. That's the same for us too. People won't do anything if everything's too comfortable.
It's the fourth turning in some respect. True. Like we fight. There's a reason why Fight Club resonated with so many people. And given the opportunity, I will always shout out Dicky Barrett because I was talking to him about the impression that I get that song. It's a never had to, but I better knock on wood. What a great song.
Yeah.
He was saying it was about how when he was young, there was no great battle.
Yeah.
That the generation before him had Vietnam, that there was Desert Storm, but he in the mid to late 90s was just like, here I am enjoying all the wealth and prosperity, and I've never been challenged. Yeah. Knock on wood, I hope I'm not. And that's what he's talking about. Like, I don't know if I'm a coward. I'm afraid of what I might find out. There's been no great challenge. We had the victory in our hands, and what happens then is you become listless. A generation of people with no purpose, no great quest, no great challenge. It is unfortunate, but the reality is you need hardship. Totally. People need a challenge to push against. It's actually quite simple. Humans have developed and invented their way out of needing to lift heavy things. So we have to pretend, we have to force ourselves to lift heavy things to maintain what our bodies need to survive. Guys who don't lift, their testosterone goes down, which results in vision problems and joint problems, depression. Because it used to be back in the day, you were carrying the carcass of the elk back to your camp. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.